Here's 2 coins of Philip I, and they're 2 different denominations. So this is a Depondius. You can see it has a radiate crown. And this is a Antonianus, also called the double denarius. They both have an elephant on the reverse. And obviously they're made out of different metals. The Depondius is larger. It's made out of a non-precious metal, and it's not worth nearly as much as the double denarius. And then I have another coin. This is also another example of a Depondius, and you can see that Artesilia Severa, that she has a crescent right over here. That's indicative of a Depondius. You can see on the reverse, this has a kippus, and that indicates, or they use that as a landmark for designating a border or some important point. In this case, it was a way of actually showing the next millennium. And another example of a Depondius is this Hadrian Depondius. It has, you can see that he is wearing a crown, a radiate crown. So a radiate crown on an emperor is an indication that it's Depondius. You can see it has a really interesting reverse on it. And then we have a Sestergius. So this is a Sestergius of Philip II. And on the reverse of this, you have another kippus. And this is Council 2 on it. Philip also has a Sestergius with a kippus on it, but it's Council 1. And you can see there is, in this case, there is a size difference between the Depondius and the Sestergius. However, there's not a lot of consistency, especially in the later Roman period, in the size of a Sestergius. So you can't use that as your only way of determining the difference between the different denominations, because this one is also, this is Philip I, this is also a Sestergius. So one thing you'll find is that, generally speaking, the as is much smaller than the Sestergius, and it typically is smaller than the Depondius. However, when you determine, or you look at the different sizes and denominations, they tend to get smaller later in the Roman Empire. So during the reign of Philip I, you generally will see more Sestergius that are on the smaller side. And we can do a comparison. This is an as, which is smaller than a Depondius as a denomination. However, if you look, this Trajan as is larger than this Sestergius, even though it's it's slightly larger. If you look, if I put them on top, you can see it's not a lot, but it is on the Sestergius is a tiny bit smaller. If you were to look at a Sestergius during the Trajan's reign, they would be consistently larger than you would find during Philip I. You do see large Sestergius during Philip's reign, but you will see more of them that are smaller than you would if you were looking at Sestergius during Trajan's reign. It's not unusual to find some that are 31, 32, 33 millimeters in diameter for Trajan, where it's really not the rule that you find them that are that large during Philip's reign. Okay, thank you for looking.